So the engineer that estimated to demolish the Harkins Academy was going to cost $533,140. Hey everyone, welcome back to Excursions with Pat in today's Miramichi news. Today I've got Miramichi update covering two stories that are getting a lot of attention. First, we have an update for the 46 residents that were displaced at Cole Crescent. But the good news is these residents won't be sleeping on the street. None of them. All of them have found a home. After that, what's going to happen to them? But all that matters is that they all are not sleeping on the streets. And then there's the Harkins Academy. It is all fenced in now. If you want to have one last look before the wrecking ball is torn up against the side of the Harkins Academy, historical building that's been sitting there for 130 years, you better head to Newcastle and have your last look. But thank you all again for coming in here. Excursions with Pat and Miramichi News. Now let's get things going. And don't forget to hit that like and hit that subscribe. So yes, we got some great news today from the Miramichi housing, but we were pretty upset. A lot of people were asking questions. They've heard a lot of residents found places to stay for now, but there was still a lot that didn't have any place to put their head down. We thought there's going to be a few that are going to be sleeping on the streets. But some great news from the Miramichi Housing Solutions Incorporated. And it writes, 3 weeks ago, our community was faced with an unimaginable challenge. More than 46 people suddenly found themselves without a place to call home. And the question on everybody's mind was, what happens now? Today, as the Golden Hawk Emergency Shelter closes, Miramichi Housing Solution is incredibly proud to say that no one will be sleeping on the street because of the closures. Every individual has a safe place to go, with only one person transitioning into our emergency shelter. So that's amazing news. Thanks to the City Council, fire department, Canadian Red Cross, everybody that was involved to help these guys out. They were housed up for 3 weeks at the Golden Hawk. It did cost $60,000 a week, but it's only money. People are more important. This community is amazing. Kudos to everybody. And we'll just read a few more comments, what the community voices has to say. All right, so here are some community voices in the area under the post of Miramichi Housing Solutions. Tammy Carter, Miramichi has always been, and hopefully will continue to always be, a shining example of how communities benefit when we all calibrate and help each other. Couldn't agree anymore. That's why we love Miramichi. All right, we will read the next community voice. Darla McKay, the crowd that always shows up. You're all amazing. Yes, you're all amazing. And we will read the last one. Gwen Gigi, you all did an incredible job with compassion and caring. Kudos to you all. Yes, kudos to you all. That has been huge part in helping these residents. 46 of them, not just one or two. These were 46 people. That's amazing. And every one of them has found a place to stay for now until further notice. So kudos to you. Kudos to everybody that has been involved. So off to our next story, Harkins Academy in Newcastle. Yes, the wrecking ball is going to be hitting Harkins Academy very shortly. If you have drove past that area, you'll see the whole place fenced straight up. There's excavators there, there's bobcats here, there's trailers there. I don't know when they're going to be starting, but they're going to be starting very shortly. For generations, Harkins Academy was more than just a school. It was part of the history of Newcastle and the Miramichi. The story began in 1867 when the original Harkins Seminary was built. In 1893, that building burned to the ground, but just 1 year later, a new stone building was constructed. Over the decades, Harkins grew and became an important part of education in the community. Generations of Miramichi students walked through these doors, made friends, learned, and created memories. But after nearly 150 years of education on the property, the school closed in 2016 when students moved to Harkins Academy. The building then sat vacant for years, slowly deteriorating. Now, in 2026, the final chapter has arrived. For some, it's simply an old building. For others, it's a lifetime of memories. Harkins Academy may be disappearing, but its history will never be forgotten. All right, we're going to head off to the City of Miramichi website. So right off the bat, we are at the City of Miramichi website. So the area is at 315 Newcastle Boulevard. It's been closed. It was published in June 26. The closing date was July 14th. All right, so the scope of the work involves the demolition and site remediation of the property and structures located at 315 Newcastle Boulevard, formerly known as the Harkins School building. Work to comply with all relevant local, provincial, federal, and environmental requirements. Yeah, so there was a few people that did get into this, the plan takers. The following are the registered plan takers for the bid. So in order to even get into this, you got to be registered, and they're called plan takers. And there has been 14 plan takers that got into this to figure if they're able to do it or not. But there was only 2 that bid submitted. The following are the unofficial bid results. So the engineer that estimated to demolish the Harkins Academy was going to cost $533,140. And the 2 companies that bid on it was Delway Enterprise from Miramichi and IQ Environmental Incorporated. So the 2 companies, Delway was the one that bid $726,000, $592.65. And IQ Environmental Incorporated, they put a bid in for $456,130.25. So they were around $66,000 under the engineer's estimated cost of $533,000 that the city would have to pay. So as of right now, IQ Environmental won the bid for the demolition of the Harkins Academy. So again, the demolition contract for the former Harkins Academy in the Miramichi was awarded to IQ Environmental. It's an Ontario-based environmental and demolition company. The bid was $456,000, including taxes, at the old 315 Newcastle Boulevard site where Harkins Academy stands right now. So the contract was anonymously approved by the Miramichi City Council as part of the enforcing the city's dangerous unsightly permissive bylaw. The city will attempt to recover the demolition costs from the property's owner or through the province if necessary. So as it states, the city council, Miramichi City Council, they're going to try to get the money out of the property owner to help pay for some of the stuff and hopefully go to the provincial government, Susan Holt Liberal Party, see if they can get a little bit of funding to help demolish this eyesore of a building now. It wasn't used to be an eyesore of a building, but it's unfortunate. So if you guys are interested, if you guys are on Facebook, you can go on Facebook and punch in Harkins Academy. And if you want to look at some of the old pictures of Harkins Academy, you just punch it in. And there's a lot of stuff that comes up. The mayor posted a few words about the former Harkins School. More photos. There was LEL Park Productions. There's a video of that where he goes inside and checks it out. Here's another building of the old Harkins Academy. That this place here was in behind Harkins Academy. I had a classroom. My classroom was right here. I remember I went to this school and my home classroom was right there. So we'll continue. Just a few more pictures. Excursion with Pat, that's me. Harkins Academy School, I took a few pictures of it. And it's just so on. It's just a lot of old pictures. Our Miramichi Heritage family, Carl Wade. It's if you haven't followed our Miramichi Heritage family, he has a ton. He's got thousands and thousands of photos on his Facebook page. You should check him out. But it just keeps on going. Here's another video and so on. Here's like somebody drew some earth. So, but yeah, if you want to check more of Harkins Academy, you just punch it into the search engine and all this other stuff will come up. But anyway, a little bit of good news and a little bit of bad news. You know, Harkins Academy is going to be demolished very soon. I'm not sure when. Could be Monday, could be a week, could be a few weeks, but as have they all, everything fenced up right now. The equipment's there already. I guess it's a matter of getting them in there to start the demolition. So it wouldn't take long to demolish it. But as far as the 46 residents that's displaced from Coral Crescent and then held up over at Golden Hawk for 3 weeks, everybody has a home. So nobody going to be sleeping on the streets tonight. But thank you all for coming in here to Excursions with Pat. Today's Miramichi news updates. If you'd like to follow my page, that'd be great. Just leave a little like, hit that little subscribe for more of my videos, and leave a comment below. How do you feel about the Harkins Academy being demolished? And how do you feel about our community helping out these 46 folks? Amazing people here in Miramichi. Thanks for coming in. I'm Pat from Excursion with Pat. Take care, and we'll see you next time.